Hey, what's up, you guys? Charles here with Game Break. So I have a crazy story for you guys today that took place about a year and a half ago, and this is going to be about how I almost got caught with weed on me one time. So if you guys enjoy the story, please leave a like and subscribe for more because it's free. So let's just get right into this, and like I said, this is about a year and a half ago, back in February of 2017, and I was still living in Chicago, and I was planning on going to Florida for a couple of days to see a couple concerts and enjoy myself and I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so instead of flying to St. Petersburg, I took the cheapest option and bought myself a bus ticket. So I like to smoke a lot of the time, and so I brought a couple bags of weed with me and my one hitter. So I go downtown to Union Station to catch the Greyhound bus that was going to take me down south. And for those who don't know, Greyhound is a shitty way of getting across country. Like, there's so many stops, layovers, transfers, and just asshole security, which now I know. But anyway, I took a couple hits before it was time to board, and this was fine because I was still in Chicago and I'm familiar with the area, and I know like the when and where to smoke weed. But yeah, we get on the bus and a little while goes by and our first layover is in Indianapolis. Pretty chill city. And I have like an hour to before the bus boards again, and so I go down the street to smoke, and I even had some random guy buy me a beer from the gas station, just trying to enjoy the trip. But after I leave, the next stop was going to be Louisville, Kentucky, and this was where my trip almost ended before it really even started. So we arrived there, and I got off the bus, and I went to the side of the building to pack up my one hitter. But I see this guy over there, and I could smell weed, so I go up to him and he had a bowl in his hand, and I don't know why he had it out in the open. I'm not sure, but I asked him. I'm like, "Hey, yo, man, what's up? You trying to let me hit that bowl?" And just I was just hoping he was a nice guy, and he was like, "Yeah, for sure," and he let me hit it. And I don't know. We talked for a minute about like where we're both going and whatever. And then I just go back inside the bus station to wait for the bus to start boarding again. And then somebody walks up to me and he has to talk to me. And turns out this was fucking security. And he said that I reek of weed and said that he saw me disappear for a little bit and told me I'm not getting back on the bus and told me to give me my weed. And of course, I'm pretty stoned. Like, I was way up there. But I had to try to play it off. So I'm like, I don't have any weed, man. What do you mean? But obviously he could smell it on me. Like it was loud as fuck. It's like so smelly that I might as well have just held a nug up to this guy's nose. But I tell this guy like, hey man, I don't have any weed. I smoked it all. You can search my bag. Like knowing the weed wasn't even in my bag. I had put the weed inside of this belt I had. Like it was some kind of stealth jogger's belt with like a zipper pocket. It was pretty clutch. But this guy, he was like, "No, I don't want to search you. The police are gonna do that with canines." So after I heard the word canine in my head, I'm just like, "You motherfucker!" So I just keep up the lies and I tell him like, "That's a waste of time, man. It's all gone. Like, there's no weed." And I like turned out my pockets and shit. And he's just like, he said, "Put the weed in the garbage can, and I'll be right back." So I mean, given this opportunity, like he walked away, so I bolt to the bathroom and I hit the stall and lock it, and I take the three weed bags and one hitter out of my belt, and I just flush it all. I just flush it down the toilet, like a tragic waste of some weed. But I don't know. I flushed like three extra times just to be safe, and I walk out the stall and this guy, he's just standing at the door and he just looked absolutely furious. And he's like, "I told you to put the weed in the garbage, not flush it." But I'm not dumb enough to leave clear fucking evidence around, so I tell him, I'm just like, "What do you mean, man? I just had to use the restroom." And so he takes me back up front where everybody can see me, and he's like, dump your bag on the floor." And so I'm like, "All right," and I start taking things out of my bag, and he's like, "No, I said dump it." So I turn my back upside down and shake everything out. And this was a little bit of a fuck up on my part because little did I know there was an empty weed bag on the floor now that was in my bag. Like, I mean, this might have actually helped my case saying that I smoked it all, but when I saw this, I instantly like tried to push something over it, hoping he wouldn't see it. But of course, he already saw it, and he grabs it and he's like, "So is this all you have?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man. I told you I rolled a blunt earlier." And I said, "Can I get back on the bus?" And I mean, the bus was due to leave like any moment now. And he's like, "Oh well, that's up to the driver." So they talk, and thankfully he let me on, and we take off. But that I mean, that man, he was totally bluffing about calling Canine Squad on me. Like, I guess I flushed all my weed for no reason. But then that sucked. But that's the end of this particular story. I actually have a couple more stories from the same trip that are pretty funny, and one of them is a little wild. And if you guys want to hear them, leave a comment below saying you want that. And leave a like if you enjoy this, subscribe for more. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.